Without boring you with it, I moved to America 6 years ago, but at that time when I was covering technology, London in particular, I would say, and the consumer base was much more focused on fintech and crypto than perhaps other areas of technology. 6 years on, you guys have made the move to that market. Why?
I think simply put, we view Bitcoin as a paradigm shift. I think Bitcoin is the first time humans have come across perfect money as we know it. And the world needs a global Bitcoin company that's going to help them and provide them the financial services to adopt it. And so I think we are the most accessible, global, and most performant Bitcoin business in the world. Like compared to a Coinbase, we don't focus on 1,000 other cryptos and our own blockchains and stuff. We just make sure that people have an amazing experience adopting the best money of all time. So that's why the people in the UK need Bitcoin, brother. Come on.
Well, Jack, I find that interesting, though. So if you think about Strike as a platform or an app, call it what you will, you can do several things, right? You can buy and sell Bitcoin. You can make lightning payments. There's other functionality. But is there a specific use case that you think people of the United Kingdom will use most? In other words, was there a clear demand for a specific function?
Yeah, well, I think Bitcoin's the best performant asset in the history of our species. And so people want the best experience. That's kind of our baseline. And we've become that. And that's why we've been on such a tear expanding globally is everyone wants our product. I think that where we are in this market cycle, given the geopolitical backdrop and the macroeconomics and this upcoming election, is people need to buy it. There's going to be a lot of new capital that is going to come into this asset class. It's my prediction. I've told you, I think Bitcoin's going to land somewhere between $250,000 to $1 million per coin over the next 12 months or so. And so that is the highest volume product we have is people that call us and say, I need this thing. Can you help?
One of the headwinds or challenges, what you've outlined, and yes, you've outlined it before on the kind of direction of travel of Bitcoin, is regulation and oversight. We're focused on the UK. It's just one market in the 100 or so you operate in. But what was that experience like launching in the UK, having to work with post-Brexit regulators who, as we discussed a lot on this show, Jack, they have tried to be strong, right, particularly on newer areas of markets or nascent technology?
You know what, Ed? Listen, I think that everyone can agree, both regulators and us, there's a lot of work to do in education, and there's definitely efficiencies and progress we can all make. But the fact that we're Bitcoin only, I can say was huge. No one is diligencing the fact that we're creating our own tokens. If something is a security, if I'm acting unethically, I build and sell the most honest, performant money in the history of our species. And it's a very simple business. It's a very honest business. It's a very moral and integral business. And so it's been rather simple. While other businesses are retracting from markets and getting sued by regulators, we're not. And I think it has a lot to do with the fact that we're built on principle. And I founded this business because I think Bitcoin's going to change the world and I want to help. And so with that context, it was fine. It was fine. And we're pleased with the launch.
Jack, really quickly, we never really talk about Strike as a company. Are you going to be employing people in the UK? Have you grown your staffing there? Have you got yourself a nice office? What does it look like?
Yes, we will. Strike's growing a lot. We, though, take this approach where we have two businesses. We have our operating company and then we have our treasury business. And we buy as much Bitcoin as we possibly can. So Strike's a profitable, growing business, and we sweep those profits into Bitcoin. Over 90% of our treasury is actually in Bitcoin. So the cost of capital is against Bitcoin. So we only deploy capital into things that we think can outcompete Bitcoin, which is at an annualized average of 63% over the last 10 years. Right. So we're delicate with how we invest, but of course, I mean, Strike's a monster, and we're going to keep pouring capital into it as long as people keep needing Bitcoin and us.